Welcome to the Geek and I podcast. My name is John, and as you can see, there is a light behind me. It's behind me. There we go. It was blinding me from the back. Holy crow, that was bright. Welcome. We have a new guest tonight. Once we go around and we speak to everybody, we will introduce him. But let's start off with our normal crew. We have first mate. Is it first mate? We have number one, Jeff Dickinson. Jeff, how are you? How are you doing?
Happy Frontier Day, man.
It's
great.
It's going to be glorious. And then we have communications officer, Debbie. How are you, Deb?
I'm great, and I feel special because it looks like I have a little crown. With a little background there. Ah, dang it.
Now I got it, man.
A fickle captain. I see how it goes.
We have our security officer, Bill. Bill, we missed you last week. How are you?
I know. I'm back. Doing good now.
Yeah, you can breathe. You can stand upright.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good. And special guest just beaming aboard today's episode, we have Brian. Brian, how are you? It's been so long since I've spoken to you.
Yeah, John, it's been a while. You know, Get Your Geek On left us in 2019. I then moved to Brownwood and kind of lost touch with a lot of the geek community, and I'm glad to be here tonight.
Well, thanks for coming down. I know from our Facebook friendship, we you do a lot of improv. How's that going?
Well, the improv has kind of gone away as well. I do some work with the Brownwood Lyric Theater in Brownwood, Texas. So, you know, there's that. I'm also doing a lot more I'm doing some karaoke DJing as well. So if you're ever in the Brownwood area, you know, we do karaoke every other Thursday at Pioneer Tap House and every Friday at Stones Grove, both in downtown Brownwood.
Very, very cool. Now, Bill, what have you been other than being ill? What have you been up to? Any more awards?
No more awards, but I got my first movie gig next week. It's a horror film called Big Cats, and I play a cryptozoologist.
Nice. So, is that like a cryptozoologist? Is that like Bitcoin animals?
No, it's kind of like, you know, the Ancient Aliens, the William Shatner's The Unexplained, where you talk about weird monsters.
Okay, all right. When that starts shooting next week.
Shooting next week, I'm like, oh my god, I got better just in time. They emailed me the script. I'm like, holy crap.
That's pretty cool. We're gonna keep us up to date on when that arrives in theaters or a home or wherever.
Definitely streaming. We'll let you know. Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So let's do like we always do, a quick round robin. And what did you guys think of episode 9 of Vox? Jeff, we'll start with you. I know you're probably just gonna go, killer, man.
No, I called it, man. The last few episodes, I've been saying it's the Borg's coming back. It's about the Borg, and here we are. Wait a minute. We didn't do our spoiler thing, did we?
Well, I mean, everybody knew it was the Borg. But why, you know, why is it that the Borg and the changelings are hanging out together? So we'll get into that in a minute. Deb, quick non-spoiler. What did you think of the episode?
Good episode. Last 15, 20 minutes. Heartstrings, you know.
It's actually 32 minutes and 15 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
It was,
I've watched that 5 times already.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely tugged at the heartstrings. It was good though. A good tug.
Well, there's nothing like a good tug. Bill, what'd you think of the episode?
It was a good episode. I mean, a lot of emotion, a lot of crying, a lot of like goosebumps running up my arm. It was really good.
And Brian,
So, as with each episode this season, it keeps getting better and better and better. Last week was the first time we saw the TNG 7 around a conference table for the first time. The last segment of this week's episode brought me to tears. And then my wife, who hasn't been watching the show at all, I just showed her the last segment. No context. And she cried too.
yeah, it's I don't want to say it was tough to watch. It was tough, but oh, so glorious.
It was tough for all the right reasons.
Yes. So let's get let's bring up our image viewer, see if I can find what I'm looking for.
Was it like 1 of 500?
And while John, while you're looking for that, let's all agree that, for one, the series Picard has been about fan service from the beginning. It's all about saying goodbye to the character and the crew and the people we've known since '87. This season, especially being a TNG reunion, this may be the last time we see these actors, these characters in this way. And this is what they deserved 20 years ago
Yeah.
and didn't get.
Right.
Um,
right.
I'm just
This,
glad they
if
did
they
it.
had released this as 5 movies, it would have a better scale and it would fit better than Insurrection or Nemesis did.
Yeah. 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 This I mean, this is what, after the debacle that I think Nemesis was and the way it ended, this is what we needed. But I don't think it would have worked 20 years ago. I think they all needed to be more mature and a little bit older and more refined, I think, is a word I would use, because you can tell the progression of certain characters. Now, I think Riker fell right back into character. Picard was a little rough in the beginning because I think he was still stuck in his own "this is my series" mentality. Worf was kick-ass from day one, and Data, of course, I can't tell you how impressed I am with the work Brent Spiner did. And Geordi was one of those that, for me, I didn't like him when he first appeared, but the more he got into it, and once he reunited with Data, I mean, his character level just went shooting through the roof. So,
And this Riker is season 3 Riker. I like a lot better than season 1 Riker. Just because, one, I think Frakes lost weight in the 2 years or year and a half between the seasons, and he looks like Riker, just older. With Geordi, until Geordi got to see his family, I think it was just he was taking care of his actual family and not his Starship family.
right.
And Brent Spiner, let's be honest, he's deserved an Emmy 30 years ago, never got one. We know he's not going to get one for this, but he totally deserves to be in that conversation for an Emmy.
Yeah, he's just, just a genius the way he switches back and forth through characters. So we got the crew together. Let us this is your warning. All right, so let's talk about it. This is this is the opening shot after the once the show starts, and we get another shot of the door with the light coming through. And there's been some shots in this that are incredibly spooky. And this is one of them for me. Then we have these two.
It just felt like it could be a horror film at some point in that beginning.
Yeah. This is
Totally.
this is the Star Trek horror episode.
Well, and you had a lot of that in First Contact. Whenever they were battling the Borg in First Contact, it had a lot of horror elements to it.
Right, and I think I don't know the production I don't know if they were still stuck on the TV look, whereas this is more traditional horror imagery, with the clouds and.
Mm-hmm.
So she opens the door and sees something inside behind the door, and we don't know what it is yet, but I'm glad they finally let us know what's behind the door, because it's been a lot of cliffhangers of you're going to find out who you are. And then did we forget about telling us who he is? But
Yeah, Jax, you think you got all your answers?
Well, and this is the difference between serialized storytelling versus episodic storytelling. Serialized storytelling, it builds upon itself, and it teases and it drags. Look at Deep Space Nine beginning in season 3, and especially when the Dominion War heated up in the middle of season 5, and it built and it built and it built for 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Rick Berman had nothing to do with this show, and you can tell.
Yeah, it wasn't the wall-to-wall carpeting, shall we say? But we'll get to that.
I think Jack's acting has really improved since episode 1. It has just like, wow, he's a really good actor.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done a nice job. I still can't get over the English accent. I know they told us why he's got one, but look, I've been in Texas for 11 years, and I don't sound no Texan. So,
well, same thing with Jean-Luc Picard. I mean, how does a Frenchman have an English accent?
Right.
I mean, it's just funny because Riker called it. Early in the season, it's like he's your son. Just you can tell by the accent alone, dude.
Yeah, that was the giveaway. That it's like to me, I knew it was his son once he spoke. I was like, okay, that's Picard's kid.
Yeah. Well, once the words "her son" was uttered in the second episode, you're like, okay, we know who the dad is. Now we just got to let them tell us.
Yeah. So we have Deanna goes back to, I guess they're in sick bay, and Jean-Luc and Beverly are hanging out, waiting to find out what Deanna's discovered, and she's just like, I can't look in this kid's mind anymore. And we get I guess you can consider this a flashback as to what she saw when she opened the door. And there it is.
That was cool.
So yeah, I guess it came through. It wasn't a wormhole, but what was it called? It came through
Transwarp conduit.
the conduit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they
No.
used in First Contact
And Voyager.
to
That's
go
right.
to go back in time, right? Was the transwarp
Well,
conduit or
they used a temporal tunnel, but that they explained it in Voyager that the Borg use a transwarp conduit to go through space time at it faster than warp. That's how they got to the Alpha Quadrant pretty fast between seasons 2 and 3 of Next Generation.
yeah, because that was once Q introduced us to the Borg. So we find out that he actually is Borg, and Jean-Luc goes and talks to Jack, and he's like, "Look, Starfleet protocol says that we have to protect everybody, and you are unfortunately the one we need to protect everybody from." And this is where it starts to get good, and he is like, they're in my mind, and I can hear them, and he just goes
Oh, I was going to mention the scene before when they were in sickbay. When did Beverly become like the genius? She like solved the whole problem right there.
Because the
Like-
plot required it.
well, they don't
What's interesting?
they don't solve it until halfway
Actually,
through.
Data and
Takes Geordi and Data.
Yeah.
But then she was saying, when she's saying like, oh, there must have been like a organic thing in your brain that's not aromatic syndrome. It's kind of like it was a new Borg implant. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like, when did she get that smart?
Well, and do you like the fact they blew up 30 years of what we thought was going on with him in one fell swoop?
Yeah.
So Jack gets old red eyes, and he grabs these security guys.
Which are awesome looking security guys. Like, oh my god, now that's what a security person should look like.
Yeah, not like you. I mean, I called you security, but
Damn.
Burn.
let's see. Wait a minute.
There you go.
So he tries to leave, and he says, "Well, I guess I wasn't getting out of here anyway."
Or was he?
Well, he is now, because he went all. He needs some Visine, and he takes the security guys, takes control of them, and he basically has an escort to get off the
You know,
ship.
if James Gunn ever does a Brightburn 2 where the guy's older, they should cast this guy. He's already used to red eyes.
Yeah. And so he grabs a shuttle and he takes off. He's going to go find the Borg himself, and basically he says, "Look, I can do this on my own." So he takes off in a shuttle.
That's a good looking shuttle.
Yep, runabouts have become shuttlecraft now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat looking. But that kind of looks like what was it? The captain's yacht from Nemesis?
Major upgrade.
And there it is.
So he looks out the window, and there's the Borg ship. And yeah, I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be the Borg, because it's everything just revolves around them. Apparently, every show had to have Borg in it. and I know it's a great enemy, but enough is enough.
Point of where Deep Space Nine did not have a single Borg episode. It only had one Q episode.
And that's why I think I liked Deep Space Nine was awesome.
No, it was not.
I mean,
Well,
even Enterprise had a Borg episode. Come on.
Yeah, how do you retcon that in?
Oh, First Contact is how you retcon that in. Because there's Borg on Earth thanks to what happened during First Contact.
Yeah. So this is where the plot gets explained and the answers get everything gets told to us as to how the as to what's going on with the false diagnosis of Irematic syndrome. I keep saying aromatic syndrome, but that's when you smell nice. So
Well, they never said he didn't smell bad.
yeah, that's true. So here's a shot right out of the opening or the closing credits with the different DNA strands being put together, which I guess if you go back once this show is over and you study the closing credits,
Everything's there.
just like the opening credits of a Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible tells you everything that is going to happen in the movie from start to finish.
I'm
And
surprised, John, you watched the end credits.
the end credits are amazing.
Yeah.
So there inside of Jack is a transmitter protein, and this symbol, if you watch, I forget which number it was, but it was one of the episodes when they're in the bar. Jack is fooling around with some drink straws, and he actually makes this shape
Yeah, I remember that.
out of a straw. So apparently I guess if you look at it this way, Jack on the left is the transmitter and Jean-Luc has the receiver protein. So that's why they explain that Jean-Luc could hear the Borg but not speak to them, whereas Jack is actually speaking with the Borg. And now he can do both because he's got both proteins. So then we get the discussion of Frontier Day, and every starship in the fleet is there, which I don't know if it's the changelings that decided to do that, have every ship in the fleet, but they're all there, and there's a lot of them. Picard says we need to go back to the Sol system and warn them that the Borg are coming. And of course, the greatest captain in the history of captains says, "Of course we do."
Of course we do.
So,
In all this, he's actually the good guy through everything. Because he's like, no, we're not going to do this crazy thing you want us to do. No, you can't take command of my ship. No, we're not doing that. That's silly. And he's right. but he's going against our protagonist, so of course we'd all hate him.
Well, if you think of it this way, if he didn't do that, and if he prevented them from going,
They'd all be dead.
Oh,
they'd all
Yep.
be dead. You know,
they'd all be dead.
Yeah, this is.
I
what
didn't
is
hate him. I just thought he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He had his moments. I liked him. I didn't hate him. He was just an asshole and a jerk at times.
He was like Cisco, who hated Picard in the first episode of
Mhm.
DS9.
And for the exact same reasons.
Yep.
So then
Now, I don't get this, John. How is there fireworks in space?
you know, I have no idea.
How does that work?
It's called what do they call that? Science fiction.
Maybe they're holograms that project fireworks.
And
know.
this is Earth, and Earth is curved, and we all know Earth is flat. So this whole everything about this picture is wrong. So and then out
Man,
she
looky
comes.
there.
She comes out with. Now this is the retirement, the decommissioning of the F, correct?
No, it's the launch of the F.
Was it? I thought they had mentioned something was decommissioned.
They did mention decommissioning of the F in one of
Oh, did they? Okay.
one of the beginning episodes.
Okay.
This is the one that Shelby commands, right? Enterprise.
You're right. This is the one. By the way, Elizabeth Shelby finally makes an appearance. And there she is. And she's in command of the Enterprise.
Just what she wanted.
Yep.
And she's going to kill them all.
Well, she's going to get killed by them all, one of the two.
She was actually one of the characters I really wanted to make another appearance. I wish she would come back again somehow and not have it, 30 years later.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was an awesome character.
Well, they did have her character in Lower Decks, so they kind of not exactly have her, but they had her voice in Lower Decks.
And if you read the books, the New Frontier books by Peter David, Shelby's in that as well.
Okay. I don't read, so
I can't read.
Oh, if you get a chance, read those New Frontier books. Peter David's a heck of a Star Trek author. He wrote in Zodi and Zodi 2 and, like I said, the entire New Frontier series.
Oh, nice. So we go back to the Borg ship. And
you know whose voice that is?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I do.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh my God, she's back.
Yep. And it was so interesting because, of course, they recast her somewhat in Voyager, went back and forth, and then the Queen got a complete recast in Picard season 2.
Yeah.
Of course, then that actress passed, but they did them back to back, so I didn't think they'd bring who they brought back. And then I watched the end credits of this episode, like, they did bring her back.
Yeah. Alice was awesome. Love that voice.
Yeah.
so the Titan is warping to Earth, trying to save the day. And they get there, and we see that Palpatine has survived. Oh, wrong
Somehow.
franchise. Wrong
Somehow.
franchise.
Oh, and did y'all notice in Shelby's speech, they invoked the NX-01?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as she's talking about the 83 brave crew members, you actually hear some soundtrack
Mhm.
Yep.
for
The theme from Enterprise.
well, it's the end credit theme, not
Mhm.
the pop song
Faith-
over the opening.
Faith of the
credits.
Heart.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not that. It's the
Yeah.
end credit theme. So now we have confirmation that it is the Borg Queen somehow. And I guess would she be? I mean, how would it be the same actress?
We never see her face, but you hear her voice.
But I mean, also like in Voyager, was that after First Contact?
Yeah, so we had the Borg Queen die in First Contact, that
Right.
version of her, and then she came back in Voyager at Unimatrix Zero, and then Janeway introduced the virus at the end of Voyager. So this may be we haven't seen the front of her yet. We don't know what that virus did, or even if this is the same cube that Janeway infected,
Right.
because the Queen can go between cubes. They kind of have like Palpatine, they kind of have a design, and all they need is some organic matter to do the décolletage up, and you're fine.
Right, but how my thing is, how do they look the same? If it's a different host body with the programming of the Borg Queen, how do they all look the same? Or is that just science fiction?
Science fiction.
Makeup, special effects.
Thanks, Debbie.
That's what I'm here for.
So we go back to the Titan, and this is where you discover the plan, which in hindsight, they told you everything that they were doing from the beginning to up to now. They told you everything that Baddock was doing and the reason she was doing it. So basically, we learned that it's encoded in the matrix of the transporters, and they've been assimilating crew members as they transport on and off the ship. And that's why Vaddock doesn't use the transporter.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
That's why Ro didn't use the transporter.
That's why Ro didn't use the transporter. And not that it would have mattered with Ro. I guess she didn't know that you needed to be, 25 or younger to ride this ride. But, it makes sense that they were basically poisoning them using the transporter, getting that mRNA in there through the transporter.
That's fair.
So the Titan warps in, and
It's like a Borg microchip.
Right. We get to see that the Borg take over and go into what they call fleet formation. So what was it? A few episodes ago, they were saying that when they went to, was it Daystrom Station or
When they went to the Fleet Museum, Geordi told them that all the ships are interconnected now.
Yeah.
Through the network. So, they can basically take over the ship remotely. They don't necessarily need the prefix code or command codes or anything like that. The fleet could actually control the entire fleet from one interface.
So that's how they know that where their location is.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess if you're far away, far enough away that I guess the signal doesn't reach. So Picard starts to warn everybody just like he did in First Contact. And Shelby's like, what's going on? You know, and it's kind of odd that, you know, do they mention that this is Shelby's idea of the fleet formation?
They do. Riker makes the comment, and this from Admiral Elizabeth Shelby, because this is a very Borg type thing, and she was the lead person on the anti-Borg weaponry during Best of Both Worlds.
So she's the one that led to the demise. That's what happens when you put a woman in charge.
What?
The views of John
Damn.
Biscardi do not exactly match those of the entire crew of the podcast.
I'm looking forward to the comments now.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
What does Craig Ferguson say? CBS cares.
The Geek and I podcast cares.
I look forward to your letters. So,
John Biscardi's address is no
1-800. It's 944 Bite My Ass Drive. It's so we get the lost connection, and we cut back to the what is this? This is Nevedalier, right?
That's the
And,
cube.
And we
Yeah.
have Thor.
no. Man.
Oh, is that the wrong
Well-
franchise again?
Yes,
It'd
right.
be the Hulk more, wouldn't it? Because it's green.
Maybe, yeah, maybe,
Oh,
maybe.
Lord.
That's too much camo, do to you.
I couldn't make the connection. This was the Borg ship. I don't know why.
Yeah, this looks like a Borg sphere and not a cube.
Well, this is inside
Well,
the cube.
Inside the
that-
cube, though.
Yeah, and this is the thing that is sending out the signal to take over all the crew members. But Thor is there, and he's trying to stop it.
Oh Lord.
But of course he fails. And this is how you know it's a signal, because 7 of 9 tells us she gets zapped. And then this is where Geordi and Data tell us that everybody's going to be turning into a Borg. And Jack is still the key. And then you look and you see, and if you pay close attention to everybody that's on the bridge, you have this guy, right? And then you have LaForge,
Daughter number 1.
and we cut back to the Enterprise, and there we go.
Lammy.
Shelby gets it. So everybody on the bridge of the Titan is turning and firing their phasers, and I thought it was interesting the way all the bad guys are set on kill,
Yeah.
but Shaw makes it a point of saying, set your phasers to stun.
Now, have y'all talked about before the fact that the new phasers look like the original series Type 2 phasers?
Well, there's two types.
Yep.
There's two types. Yeah.
There's the original series type, which is the one
Right.
that Jack has, and then there's this type,
It looks
one
more
here-
like a Romulan weapon.
It does. It looks like that looks like a Romulan disruptor.
Yeah.
Well, this one here is the Star Trek 2 phaser.
Yeah, that's true. That is Star Trek 2, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little work on the Star Trek 2 phaser. So they have two different versions, but Shaw tells us to set ours to stun because he just doesn't want to kill his own crew. He will not kill his own crew because that's the one thing that he blames Picard for, is killing his crew. So
Apparently, he never heard of Ensign Lynch.
he just wants to stun them. So then this is an amazing point where LaForge is like, Geordi's like, I gotta get my daughters, and Data just grabs a hold of him and says, and do what? And keep him. He's like, we need a plan. Instead of rushing off and dying, let's put a plan together and save them. I thought this was two friends being truly honest with one another.
I like the new updated Data.
Well, and I think this is the Data that Brent always wanted to play, but never could.
Yeah.
And he's also not tan or...
He's not as gold. Yeah, has changed his colors. I was like,
Well,
I was watching the original series of the Next Generation. I was like going, he has more makeup on or something.
Yeah, because he's not an android anymore.
Yeah, he has
is
a
a
body now.
yeah, he's got a positronic
yeah.
body, which I guess is more lifelike.
Yeah, he's got the same type of body that Picard has now.
And then we have all the Borg crew members now that are hunting them down. And if you remember, we had the ensign that was on his knees that said, I can't do that because I'm Starfleet. And this is the one that was on her knees about to be executed by Vatic, but she turned and killed Tavine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, was Tavine older, and did she know that Tavine wasn't going to turn? That's why she killed Tavine, because this
Or
one
Vulcan
was-
physiology may not be compatible with the Borg implants.
Well, we have a Borg Vulcan right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that Tavine is older than 25. I mean, she's a Vulcan, so who knows? She could be 130.
Good point.
Yep.
So that's why these two did not. These two weren't killed by Vatic in what was that, Surrender?
Yeah.
Episode was that 8 or 7? Was that
I
8?
want to say it was 8.
So again, they tell you everything that is happening. So here's a list of all the starships that are now been taken over.
Yeah. And that's kind of cool. They have the names of important people.
Yeah.
We got the Sulu, and then we
Cochrane.
have the Cochrane. And Gilgamesh. What was Gilgamesh?
Something from TNG, if I remember correctly.
Wasn't Gilgamesh the entity that Beowulf killed?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, is there anything from Star Trek that is?
I thought something from TNG.
Maybe I don't remember. But isn't it interesting that the ship that took out the Excelsior was the Sulu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
I never liked that guy. So we have Riker. They're trying to figure out how to get out of there. They're in the elevator, the turbo
Turbo
lift.
lift. Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what this shape. What is this shape? It's got to mean something.
I thought it was
Spelling
weird.
out Borg.
See, that's what I thought too. I was like, no, that's not a Borg design that I'm aware of. That doesn't spell anything. Maybe it's in the end credits and we missed it.
Yeah, because this is a shot of them going, and she says, "Let's go get Space Dock," but then they fly right past Space Dock and go take out the planetary defense systems. And to me, this brought back Ultron. So basically, what they're doing is they've created Ultron for starships, and it was taken over. So the turbo lift door opens on the hallway, and then we have the three of them who escaped the bridge.
Troy's got the line of the scene here, doesn't she? I've never been happy to see so many wrinkles.
Yeah,
And I gotta say, I just love the uniforms. It's kind of like it's like the Fonz. They all have like leather jackets.
Yeah.
Bill, you just want one.
I do want one. They look so cool.
They went from lower decks to just coolness overnight, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I don't know, is it Shaw and Riker wearing like the off-duty captain's uniforms? Because you can see a little tinge of red on the shoulders of Will and Shaw's. Because those are just cool jackets right there.
They are so cool, like biker jackets.
I think they might be the same, but the red is command, and then you have
the yellow for operations and security.
Yeah.
And engineering, yeah. And then at least Worf decided to pick up a weapon this time that shoots.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be sharpened.
And like Deanna has like the old style phaser. I'm like, what? You couldn't find a newer phaser?
Yeah, I like the fact that Worf's like, screw this close combat bullcrap.
Yeah, so this is a third kind of phaser.
It's like from First Contact or Nemesis.
And Beverly's just there ready to shoot anything that moves.
Yeah.
Both hands on that sucker, ready for the kickback.
So Geordi is worried about his kids, and Picard says, "We'll get them back. We'll get them back. Don't worry." And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose from the other end of the hallway.
Never a trash compactor around when you need one.
I love this.
I hope we die quickly.
Yeah, quickly. That's totally a line out of Generations, if ever there was one.
But he delivers it so much better than he did with the emotion chip. I think the emotion chip, I don't know if he was told to overact, but it felt like he was doing a little bit of overacting with the emotion chip. Telling the jokes and but here he's doing just a kick-ass job.
Yeah.
And then the man of the hour.
He's actually getting ready to fight for a change.
And then this was kind of tough to watch.
Sad.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I bet.
'Cause
But then,
John,
I
you're
like this
crying.
guy.
You're crying, man.
You know, I was crying because now I have to change my video. Everybody that I named in my video is dead.
Now it's
So now
version
it's
7.
version 7 is coming out soon with no names whatsoever. It's
well, hold on. Are there gonna be 9 versions total?
maybe it depends on
Because then
who's
it'd be
left.
version 7 of 9.
Yeah, this is
Oh, man.
we'll see who's left after. I think all it is
The ship.
I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm impressed that he's able to keep the secret because we met him at the Star Trek cruise back in February, and he was like, "I can't wait for all the episodes." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, I think he could be a permanent character."
is that what he
Is that
said,
where you
or
got
is
the
that what
shirt?
you were thinking?
No, he was talking about he loved the series. He can't wait to see it continue. I'm like, wow, this guy, he's gonna be part of the new crew.
Yeah, not so much.
Well, to be fair, he's in more episodes of season 3 than Wesley was of season 4 of Next Gen.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, he didn't show up yet, did he?
Not yet.
No.
Well, he did in the end of season 2.
Kind of, yeah.
So Shaw sacrifices himself, and
Oh, and he gives command to 7.
he gives the
Yeah.
that was. I mean, I wanted that to happen. What episode was that where he is under the table?
3 or
And he's-
4?
Yeah.
Where she saves him because she kills Sydney.
Oh yeah, Changeling Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I'm not a Hollywood writer, because this is much better.
Mhm.
So he actually gives command, and he says for the first time, 7 of 9.
This is the most change of command episodes I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's like whoever walks on the bridge. Oh, you're in charge.
You're in charge. I'm going to the bathroom.
Now I'm just hoping that Raffi and Seven can find a place to hole up for the next episode, because they got left.
Mhm.
And do you think they could take? I don't know. Is Shaw really dead? Is anybody ever really dead in Star Trek now?
Kirk. Oh no,
Uncle
Kirk is
Ben.
dead.
Yeah. Do we put Kirk into Shaw, or Shaw into, and now
Kirkutis of Borg. I mean,
that'll work. So they
Shatner
have to-
said he wanted to come back as Kirk. I gotta wait for him to do it now.
Would that be the kick-ass episode ender where Kirk comes back? Because right over here
Is the A?
is the A, and Kirk is in Daystrom.
He's at Daystrom though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that would be
Oh, it's another space station, right?
This
yeah.
is
That was
Right.
this is
That
this is
that would be
the
some kind of
museum.
Star Trek, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he can fax himself over or something. They
They're
have
very
fax-
hurry because he's not getting any younger.
Yeah,
Well, he's over 25. He can use the transporter.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, 3 times over 25. So we're pulling up to the museum.
And see, this is where the tears start right here.
And this is it.
Oh, I was even when the door 12. I'm like, oh my god, it's 12.
Well, you had to know that this was coming when she said, "Well, what about Bay 12?" And he's like, "Hush, hush, hush, hush."
Well, see, I was half expecting the E and then Jordy said, "Well, we can't use the E now, can we?" It wasn't my fault. I need to see that movie now, by the way.
Which is cool because it ties into a book I read. It was the Last Best Hope by McCormick, and that's when Picard becomes an admiral and Worf takes over as the captain of E.
Right, but it never says what happens to the E. So
No,
I need that movie now.
Nemesis ends with E getting repaired in space dock, and Data or B4 singing the song that Data sung at the wedding. So that way, Data's in there somewhere looking to get out. Yeah. And then that's how it ends, is they're repairing the Enterprise E.
Oh, you got to read then The Last Best Hope by McCormick. Mm-hmm. It was a great book.
And then Data says what everybody watching is thinking. I didn't think I'd get this emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And we go aboard. The doors open on a darkened bridge. They turn the lights on and our family is home. And this was rebuilt, constructed brand new. They did not have any pieces left. It was all destroyed after Generation.
Yeah, they use that same stage for the Voyager bridge.
And then all the other sets, from what I heard, were kind of fold away, so they could just fold them up and reconfigure them into different sets. There's our crew on the bridge.
I don't think I've ever seen the camera at this angle in any other shows.
I think you might be right, because normally the camera is in the view screen.
Yeah. It's just like a low on the floor shot. I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. I think maybe one of the games did it back in the day, but I don't think it ever got into the show.
And then this is where I teared. As soon as he reactivated the Enterprise and the computer voice came on.
Mm-hmm.
It still makes me, because I've been wanting to hear her voice as the computer forever, because she is the computer voice. Majel Barrett Roddenberry is the voice of Star Trek computers.
I'm glad they did that,
Yeah. That was awesome.
And apparently she had recorded phonics before she died, so they could use her voice whenever they wanted. And I think this is actually from what clip they used wasn't new. I think it was from Chain of Command.
I'll have to watch that one. I know I want to go back and watch a couple of important episodes. But yeah, and you know who does the voice for the Titan?
No.
What's her name? Eckstein? Ashley Eckstein?
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I have her shirt on. Tenno.
Wrong franchise.
I know.
So we start up the Enterprise, and we learn that the saucer section, because of the Prime Directive, was salvaged from Viridian 3. And the engines and the nacelle are from the Syracuse.
Mhm.
Which makes sense how they found Kirk's body then, right? If they salvaged this, they must have found Kirk's body.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, they would have had to have taken it, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't affect.
The natural evolution of that culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does Picard miss the most or appreciates the most?
The
The
carpet.
carpet.
That cracked me up.
Well, so there. What I enjoyed, and this was the same thing that kind of, this is a very Star Trek 3 type thing they got going on here. And Picard's like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. And Will's like, are you kidding? We're the crew of the USS Enterprise, damn it. We can do anything we damn well please.
Yeah. And I thought there was it the Enterprise night crew? Wasn't there like a little video? And it's just a couple of guys going around vacuuming the bridge?
Yeah, that was funny.
Or was that Robot Chicken?
Yeah.
Well, it was live action. I just can't remember. I mean, I think it was more of a blooper thing than it was actual canonical stuff.
So then we have Picard. He says here, Riker says to Geordi, we're going to need all the shields you can muster. And Picard says, make it so.
Oh, I like how Jordy goes, the drones are loading the torpedoes or something, right? He says something
Yep.
like that.
After Worf makes his, I like the battle systems on the E better. Like, dude, shut up. And everybody's where they belong.
And I don't know if you caught this when he sat down.
The Picard duck.
He did the old Picard maneuver.
Mhm.
Yep.
And he gives us one more time. Engage.
Yeah. So in 2018 at Alamo City Comic Con, Jonathan Frakes was a guest, and David Gramillion led a panel. Well, tried to anyway, but actually got to see the Riker maneuver in person. That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
The nacelles open up
Mhm.
and we warp to battle, go headed to Earth. And
Then I got pissed off.
Why?
'Cause I was wanting to see the next. I want to see him go. Like, it's going to continue. I didn't realize the hour
Well-
already passed by. It went by fast.
Next week, you get to watch the whole series.
next
Yeah, John
Wednesday,
dragged it out with me.
I'll be down at the North Park IMAX,
Right on.
and hopefully I get there early enough to get a seat. So
Yeah, camp out like you used to do for Star Wars.
yeah, that's like, I think I'm gonna leave on Sunday.
There you go.
So Jeff knows that I don't take good care of my stuff. And I going through, some garage stuff. I found my Playmates
Nice.
Enterprise.
I've got one of those too.
Oh,
I need to find the Syracuse
yeah.
and get a nacelle.
Check Viridian 3.
Yes. Well, it blew up.
Yeah, but the nacelles flew off when the star drive exploded, so they could still be on the planet somewhere, maybe in the ocean.
That is true. And then I found this too, which I was never going to open, but when you have kids and they find it and you're not home, somehow it gets opened.
Is it broken too?
So here is my
Ooh, you got the whole set.
this is
There
my
you go.
micro machines, and I guess this is the, what do they call it? The Starfleet Museum.
Very cool.
So we have
There you go.
Very cool.
I got my and then we have the Excelsior.
All right,
My
is that the
favorite.
Excelsior or the Enterprise B?
You want me to read this tiny lettering?
I'm just asking. I don't care. I'm just asking.
NCC 2000.
Okay.
Cool. Is this like show and tell? Because I went to my garage too and I found this.
What's that, Bill? Ah,
See, that's just rude.
that's fast.
We have the Reliant or the Saratoga
Darn.
Reliant. And we have a runabout.
Very cool.
Romulan bird of prey.
Nice.
We'll stick with Romulans right now.
Hey, so what did y'all think of that season 2 finale for Strange, or season 1 finale for Strange New Worlds, where they kind of redid Balance of Terror?
I thought it was pretty cool.
That was before I liked Star Trek again.
It's been a while since I've seen
Come on,
it. I'll
John.
watch it.
I always like when they bring out the old TOS type of themes, like you mentioned, Balance
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terror.
Well, we got to see Pike in a movie uniform, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine.
I should put all these on my Christmas tree.
Yeah, you have that one ornament.
Ah, the Borg cube.
This just keeps going and going. This is literally the Starfleet Museum.
There you go.
It's like everything that's in that we saw.
How many is in that kit?
Geez, 20.
Wow, that's a cool
Yeah.
There
set.
you go.
I'm gonna have to
And
look
then
on
we have-
eBay, see what they're going for.
Then we have this one, keeping up with the Cardassians.
Very cool.
See,
what
I'd
was-
watch that show.
And then
What was that, John? The micro machines?
Micro Machines.
Yeah. You're looking
Uh,
up, Bill?
I'm going to.
Limited edition collector's set. 16 authentic vessels from the Star Trek saga. Special
And the other four are from what?
special
there's
display.
20.
Well, I counted wrong.
Oh.
I don't read and I don't count. So it's got
$200.
all the stands.
What?
On what, eBay or
That's
on
crazy.
the actual, what, or on Amazon?
No, this one's on.
Amazon's higher than eBay usually.
This one has 16 vessels and $200. Oh, it's on Poshmark.
Okay.
Huh.
And there's That's the 1701A.
Yeah, but the lineup one looks cooler.
Yep. And I had another one, but I don't get. There was I had a 4-pack too of ships, but anyway.
Oh, someone's selling it for $455 on
Holy
eBay.
crap!
I know.
Somebody's proud of that.
I'll tell my wife; she'll make me sell it.
She's typing in the
Well,
comments right
Bill,
now.
buy it.
Hold on.
We'll
Just because
we'll
somebody posted at 455 doesn't mean it's going to sell at 455.
Right.
Oh, I know, but it's posted at 4. There's like 3 of them for over $400.
Well, see, I used to go to pricecharting.com, and when I look up stuff, you can see what the history of its selling.
Yeah.
So you know what's going for currently.
Here's a cheaper one for $180.
Yeah, you said cheaper. This is like a puzzle now. I don't know where all these go. I need a 3-year-old to figure this out. All
Just
right.
put it in a bucket.
What are we looking for episode 10? What are we looking to have
Well,
happen? What are some
It'd
of the
be 2 hours
predictions?
long because that's what they need to wrap everything up.
I hope not, because they're showing 2 episodes next week. And
Yeah, but
if I got a 2-hour drive home after a 3-hour show, I'm not gonna make it.
They said something's happening after the movie. Like
Yeah, there's a Q&A.
yeah.
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 But I don't know how they can get this done in 53 minutes because there's just so much wrap up to go.
I don't think it would be that short. I'd be surprised if it is.
Is there a runtime posted on IMDb yet? Because the title is out there already.
I don't know. I haven't seen
I
it.
didn't look. Debbie,
This
Google.
right?
Yeah.
Well, considering my
Deb,
device is being used at the moment, so I can't use mine.
Deb, you're our communications.
Old Captain.
Bill's buying stuff on eBay now.
Oddly enough, John's selling stuff on eBay, so I don't know how that works, but
If you want to buy a box of toys for $1,000, just call me.
There you go.
My.
I don't see a runtime on IMDb.
But it is called The Last Generation. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. I don't see it. No runtime.
No runtime.
Okay.
All right.
it'll probably be posted Monday, Tuesday next week.
I'm like thinking, who could they add in as a new cameo guest appearance?
Yeah. Who else is who else
Alive?
could we see?
Well, there's Wesley. That's kind of the obvious choice.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this way: who else could they add in that we would want to see?
Jordy's wife.
Who's that?
Is it Leah? Or who? Because they never say who mom is.
But how could she help out?
Well, if it's Leah Brahms, I mean, who knows?
There should be someone from Deep Space Nine. If you're talking Changeling, there's got to be another
Well,
Trekkie person.
I mean, Cisco would be wonderful, but that would just Deus Machina, that thing, you know?
You think he's too powerful?
I
mean-
well, if they bring him in as the Cisco, then yeah. But if they bring him in as Captain Benjamin Cisco, and the Defiant comes in to help the Enterprise D, because Defiant was made around that same time, as was the Sao Paulo, its successor. So it probably, and Well, no, the Defiant's at the Fleet Museum. So
Yeah, right.
what if Cisco goes and gets the Defiant, and we see some deep space like Kira and those come up and knock the crap out of the Borg with the Defiant? That's what it was built for.
Yeah, they could help out.
I mean, it is a tough little ship after all.
Now, wasn't there a good Borg in season 2? Didn't like the Doctor become a Borg?
Well, Hugh died.
Different timeline.
Oh, different
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah, Girardi is over keeping that transport conduit guarded on the other end of the galaxy with the Stargazer.
Unless they bring her back to combat this queen.
Yeah. I'm like, I thought there was another Borg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Girardi has a whole different type of Borg, and there's that giant transport conduit that they're guarding with the Stargazer.
How about you, John? Who do you think's coming back?
You know, until now, I never watched. I haven't finished season 2, but what are the circumstances in which Q died?
I don't remember.
He used his last bit of power to bring everybody back home. Those that wanted to come home anyway.
Oh,
And then he and Picard hugged, and Q died.
Yeah, they have their moment.
Yep.
yeah.
So there's no way Q could come back.
Well, there's Q Jr. Which was played by John Delancey's son of all things, so you never know.
Oh,
was-
yeah.
What was he in?
Voyager.
Oh, okay. That's another one I never finished.
I'm surprised Admiral Janeway didn't make an appearance yet.
Well, she's got her own show, though.
True.
She's in the cartoon universe.
It's true. She's doing Prodigy.
So
You know, it'd be fun, and I don't think this would happen, but it'd be interesting if the Cerritos showed up with Captain Mariner.
Oh. Aren't they going to do that in Strange New World, like a Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds together?
And it's going to be the live action voice actors being their characters.
Yeah.
And it's going to be directed by Jonathan Frakes.
That's going to be awesome.
So what about what if they send a message to O'Brien and he figures out a way using the transporters to remove that
That
DNA.
could work. That could work.
And I don't know, I've been for infinity on these theories of mine. So I don't even know. I'm just going to drive down there and hope for the best.
Just get your swag. That's the key thing, too.
That's
Get your
it.
swag.
Yeah.
My swag.
Speaking of swag, Bill, where'd you get that shirt from? Was that the cruise?
No, this was at the premiere. I think it was at the premiere. It was not at the
Oh,
cruise.
that's right. You went to that.
Did they? You said was it 2 episodes, right?
It was 2, the first 2 episodes.
Was it edited to 1? Did they drop the credits?
No, they just left a gap. So they played it. There was a gap for like 10 or 15 seconds, and then they played number 2.
Did they have the previously on
No bathroom
and all that
breaks.
stuff?
They played like
Okay.
yeah, they did.
Hey, guys, I hate to do this, but I got us to go. But I don't know if they'll be available next week, but if I am, I'd love to come back and join you.
Yeah, we're gonna have a big blowout next week.
All right.
Thanks for coming by.
All right.
My
Thanks, Brian.
pleasure. Live long and prosper, guys.
We'll see you.
So yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, so I don't know what to expect. I just know it's going to be awesome. Hopefully I get in, say some
But you have tickets, right?
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter because the tickets say, first come, first serve.
Camp
What?
out. I'm telling you, you gotta
Ticket-
camp out.
A ticket does not guarantee your entry into the theater, as we overbook to ensure a packed house.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So
You got to do that because the Q&A, they can probably film that,
well,
Yeah.
the
I
Q
would
and A
not
is
drive 2 hours and then not be able to get in because I'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed.
you got to give it a shot. You live once, right? Unless
I have
unless
faith
you're
you'll get in, bro.
unless you're on Star Trek, then you just keep coming back.
You live forever.
All right, Jeff, what do you got coming up on the channel this week?
Man, I'm looking forward to doing that Tetris unboxing when I get it. It finally got confirmation of shipment, so that was really cool. So yeah, looking forward to that for the next week.
Very cool. Deb, what do you got coming up on? You still doing? Is there Mondays? You did what was it? Dungeons and Dragons this week,
Yeah,
right?
this week, usually we do MCU, but since there's nothing until May, this week we're going to do the Super Mario Brothers. We're going to do a review on that, and then
Nice.
Thursday will be the season finale of the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I like
Is that the finale? Or
the last episode.
So yeah.
It's been so bad this year.
No,
Oh
It's
my
been
gosh!
great.
this last
They put-
episode cracked me up, man.
They put Grogu inside of a. I don't
IG.
know.
Oh,
IG
no spoilers. I haven't
12.
seen that one yet. I haven't seen that
Oh,
episode yet. Oh,
Sorry.
Oh no, Bill. And that's how it ended, man.
Yeah, that was
No, I'm joking. I didn't say nothing.
when they did that. Yeah, it was pretty special. So
You'll laugh and you might cry.
okay, good.
I was laughing.
I was crying because it was so bad.
Oh,
So
it wasn't.
we'll discuss. So, Bill, what do you got coming up this
We'll have
week?
a
You gonna start your
chit-chat.
movie? You gonna be here next week? for
I'll
the
be here next
finale?
week. Yeah, I'm only filming for 2 days, so I got to get in character.
Okay.
Ah.
And then
Memorize lines.
once Picard's over, are you into the next phase?
After Picard's
Oh.
over, I'm. What's next after that?
The next phase of Federation Friday is episode 1 of TOS.
Oh, okay. I'm up for that.
Until Strange New Worlds comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're
That
gonna,
I can't wait for.
We're going to go episode by episode all the way down, and within the next 30 years we should finish. And
I'm
So-
hoping for
I'll be dead. So
promotion.
you have a picture of me.
I should get promoted from security to engineering.
okay, we'll give you a red shirt. Oh, that's
Damn. No, he'll get killed quickly.
all right, guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time. Those of you who tuned in, thanks for watching. We know your time is very important, and you give us 32 seconds. We appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this out if you wouldn't mind. It helps us with the algorithm. Even if you didn't like it, just give us a thumbs up, please. We could.
Wait a minute. We need to do a picture first.
Oh yeah. Got it.
So we will see
Sorry,
you
John.
next time on the Geek and I. Next time this week we have, what do we have coming up? We doing something again on Wednesday?
Yes, the Chit Chat Wednesday continues, and I really like our new intro.
The Wednesday Chit Chat show. We will figure out something to talk about. Maybe we'll talk. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You think of this is you think of a concept now, Jeff, and we will see you next week right here on Federation Friday, 7 p.m. Central, on this channel and all the channels that you subscribe to, because we're taking over. It'll be us everywhere.
The world will be ours.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Live long and prosper, and we will see you
on the next one. Later.